What's up guys, hope you're having a great day. My name is Michael and in this video we're looking at my top 3 launch pads. So we're sitting here at CoinMarketCap and what we do is we go to the categories and go through all the launch pads. Obviously we review a lot of them, but some perform better than others. Some make us a lot more money than others, and in this video we're looking at the top 3 launch pads that are making me the most amount of money. We have reviewed all of them separately before already. So if you haven't seen those, do make sure you subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date with all the newest videos, of course. But in this video, we're doing a quick overview on why these 3 are the top 3 out of all launchpads so far. We have gone through a lot. Here we go to categories and then we search for launchpads. And then there's a section here that covers all different launchpads separately. There we go, launchpads. There's a bunch of them. Obviously, there's a lot of them out there, and some go up, some go down. Right now, the whole market is down quite a lot. Bitcoin has fallen. I think it was below 40, not today, yesterday. Ethereum went down below the 3,000 just for a little bit. But obviously everything follows after that. There's a lot of fear going on in the market. If we look at the fear to greed index, there's a lot of fear. People are a little bit afraid. People don't want to invest. People don't want to put their money in. And in times like that, what do? We do put our money in. It's not financial advice. Everything I do obviously is just opinion based. But what we do know is that when other people are taking the money out, we can put our money in. If more people take the money out, if the market goes down even lower, we can just put in another batch, right? That's my approach. That's my strategy. One of them being Seedify. That's the one thing that we look at. One of the most well-known launchpads out there, and they have a good reputation, a good name, and that's not for no reason, of course. So definitely one that we will be following. And another one, you've heard me cover this one a lot recently already. One of the newest ones of that I really like is Launchpad. As you can see, 7-day chart, it went up 5.5%, even though the whole market went down. If you compare to the other ones above it and below, minus 20%, minus 5, minus 37, minus 7.5, 17. During times like this, Launchpad still went up, still held strong. Why? It is a fairly new launchpad and it is sitting on the VLS chain, VLS blockchain, which is kind of a new blockchain where a lot of awesome projects are being launched on. It's very quick, one of the quickest, if not the quickest blockchain to operate on. And they've launched a couple of amazing projects. The ROIs on there are very well. So this will definitely be in the have to be mentioned top 5. This will probably be number 4 in my list sitting right now. Another one, so Meta Feedback was one of them that was launched on Launchpad that did like 1300x to 1290x on at the top. We have covered MemePad that did awesome all the way at the start. I was one of the earliest ones in there. It actually set at around 15 cents per token at a time. Now there's just nothing left. We made a video on MemePad separately why it's just completely dead. The whole project's nothing left. So this one will probably be in my bottom 3, probably the lowest one out of all launchpads out there right now. Next one, you already knew, AnyPad. We'll quickly review AnyPad as well. That'll be definitely in the top 3. They have a little bit of a couple of bad results within the last couple of IDOs that have been. So the name has been, well, it has been in the news a little bit in a bad way. You can see it's been down 20% as well. But a lot of awesome things are being announced. A lot of new projects are coming up. They're listening to the community. They want more launchpads, or they want more IDOs. They want more projects. They want good projects that have been reviewed properly. And they have listened. They also have a couple of other things coming up with their staking and their game coming up. You can already stake, so you can free mint an NFT by just staking the token. So there's a couple of new things within it, but it is still the top one from getting the highest amount of allocation. And then last one, I don't even know if this one is in the list here. No, it is actually not in the list. Why is it not in this list? It's because it is brand new and market cap is still very low, which is SolRazr. We recently reviewed SolRazr in a separate video. My absolute favorite right now for smaller budgets. If you're somebody with a little bit of a smaller budget, you do want to get into IDOs, you want to get into launchpads, and you want to participate in all of that, but you can't get in, for example, a Seedify, well then this one is the absolute best one to get into. So we'll dive in it pretty quick because all three of these are very, very, very different. This one, definitely for small allocation or small budgets, high allocation per project, but smaller budgets to get into. It is very cheap, relatively cheap to get into SolRazr and to participate. And the results of all the ideas that have been awesome. So a lot of positives, only positives here with SolRazr. Then Seedify been going up a little bit again. It's been getting some positive traction and positive news out there. Price was up to $13-14 of course, maybe even 16 or $13 might have been the top. It's been up to $16. So this one 50% down from the top, from the all-time high, which is, as to me, it's a good entry point. This one is a little bit more expensive, relatively expensive to participate in if you want to get a good allocation. And then of course we have AnyPad, very, very, very high allocation for all projects in there. I get 1,000 up to roughly $1,800 allocation per project, sometimes like 700, just below the 1,000. But that is totally different compared to Seedify or SolRazr or any other project out there. So we'll start with Seedify. Seedify is very, very simple to review. Why? Is because the projects are awesome. The project itself, Seedify itself, is awesome. The Seedify token, SFUND token, is an awesome token to hold. I would actually have Seedify in one of the top gaming specific tokens to just hold, because they have a lot of things come up that are separate from just the Launchpad and just the IDOs. So we can definitely expect when the market catches up again, when things are going back up, we can definitely expect a large raise up from Seedify itself. So what do we want to look at? We want to look at past results of past IDOs. We want to look at the staking system, whether it's an API or no, and how long the staking duration is. We want to know the upcoming pools. Are they freaking enough? And are they good, proper quality results, yes or no? And we kind of want to know how much allocation we will roughly get per project. I'm gonna cheat here for a second. Why? Is because I obviously reviewed Seedify and I can make a good comparison for you guys. So I have my sheet here, my Excel sheet. I went within a very detailed explanation of everything. But we went over the different tier systems that you can get into in Seedify and how much you actually had to pay. At that time, the price was sitting at $10.72. Right now, the price is sitting at $8.06. So let's see if this still applies. No, this doesn't still apply because there's no calculation here. 0.6, is there? Oh, there is, there we go. Easy. So this is very, very easy. We now know that to get into these different tiers, this is how much we need to pay. Right, so I held tier 2 at the time of making the video, and then I upgraded towards tier 3. I got in tier 2 in like $4.50, I believe. So for me, this was fairly cheap. $4,050 to get into tier 2, and then I upgraded to tier 3. That was a bit of an investment. I had to put down like just over $16,000 extra to get into tier 3, close to $17,000. But allocation did go up. We reviewed all the results. So Seedify here, we looked at all the different projects that were out there at that time. CryoWar was sitting, was the IDO price, was this. This was the amount of allocation that you get. Tier 1, almost $6. Tier 2, close to $10, right? This is last 5 for another project. Good Games Guild, Gaia, Hololoot. The cool thing is this. They come up with a couple of the best possible projects out there. I made a video on the top 5 crypto games in 2022 that aren't actually games but are related to the gaming sector, and Good Games Guild was one of them. Awesome project with a lot of potential. Well, if you participate in Seedify, you can participate in the IDO for Good Games Guild and you get the cheapest price possible on that project. Again, sure, the allocation here is not that big. That's the bit of the thing going on with Seedify. But when we made the video, the price was sitting up above the $10. With all the things that are happening with the project that they're launching, with their own games, they're making up a couple of different things within the gaming scene. They're finding a good entry in there. They're backed by some massive people. Obviously, Alex Becker is an advisor. So you already know that there's a lot of people with big influence in that project. They're having a lot of knowledge from it. but they also influence a lot of different people within the market. Alex Beck only needs to make one post of Seedify and the price will go up 20 to 30% afterwards, straight away. Is that good for the project itself? No, not necessarily. Maybe in the short run, sure, when you see him posting a tweet, then you just get in and grab your 20% profit, you get out. But in the longer run, it doesn't do that much because it'll just correct according towards where the market is at. But consistently putting out Seedify as a good project in the news, on Twitter, everywhere, obviously has a good impact. Why? Is because it has a massive, massive reach and a lot of people will get into it, right? So that only makes sense. Now, right now, sitting at $8, this is fairly cheap. At least it is cheap for Seedify compared to where it's been, with 50% discount compared to the all-time high. Still the same systems apply, lower allocation compared to other projects, but the cool thing is this, right? Is it still here? These are the results. The time of posting, the market was in a bit of a dip as well. Everything went down at exactly that time. But overall results of Good Games Guild, for example, at the price of that time posting this video was 2,000%. So almost a 200x. Am I saying that right? Yes, 200x. Right, so that's awesome. Gaia Everworld here 35x, and Cryo War was an 840x, 35x and 840x, which is awesome. We can look at the price of those projects right now and you'll get what I mean. Why? Is because these projects, they hold very, very stable. I haven't checked the price yet, so I hope what I'm saying here is correct. But if we, for example, take Good Games Guild and Cryo War, which are two game projects that I really like, they have a lot of potential. Cryo War would be worth a separate video of one of the top high potential games in 2022. Good Games Guild would deserve a video on its own with a lot of explanation about how awesome the project is and what they're doing and how they're helping people wanting to invest in play to earn games, in NFT games, but they might not have enough money to actually get in and buy a full NFT of thousands of dollars. They can get in and be part of a guild. They can get in and buy portions of it. So Good Games Guild sitting at $3.77 and Cryo War sitting at 92 cents. Here, what can we see? We can't see the actual current price at this time. That's unfortunate. Then we'll just look at the chart, right? We look at the chart, we see everything going down. Again, it is according to the whole market right now, but a project like this is holding pretty stable. Good Games Guild sitting at $3.77. It did drop down a little bit. So it dropped down 50% in a short period of time in January already. The whole market is going down. A lot of projects are dropping 30, 50, 40%. But what we want to know for IDOs that we participate in, we want to know that there's potential also longer term. Why? Is because when we invest in a project through a Launchpad, there's a vesting schedule, meaning we get a certain amount of allocation. You get 10, 20, 30% allocation, 25%, sometimes 50, sometimes 100. And that's the amount of tokens that you get paid out during the launch. And then the other vesting, the other parts of the tokens come 1, 2, 3 months later on after that. So we want to know that it's not like a pump and dump project where it pumps up, you get a certain amount of money back from your first allocation, you hope you're in profit straight away from the start. So for example, if we look at Good Games Guild, right, the amount of money that we had to pay for Good Games Guild to get in, we can see here, tier 2 as an example is what I was in, I had to pay $13.22. So let's say we get like a 20% allocation all the way at the start, so we get a 20% from the vesting. Then we just hope that it went up a 5x and that we got a minimum of $13.22 out of it straight away. And then the remainder of the 80% coming later on afterwards. It doesn't really matter whether that's going up, whether it's going down. We already know we've got our money back. Sure, we hope it's going up as much as we can so we have more profit, but at least we know we're not going to lose money on it, right? And when you see a project like this, yes, they always do pump up quite a lot. They go up at the start. Almost 99% of all the projects do that. There's a lot of hype around them during the launch. And then they slow down again. This is a very natural looking chart with a massive pump up at the start and then it slows down again. What we want to see is it's slowing down somewhere at around here where it is now, which is fine, which is healthy according to the market, the whole market doing right now. then we just want to know that there's going to be announcements, that it's a good project, something that has potential, something with backed by a good team, and eventually it'll go back up again, right? MemePad, for example, which I just talked about, which would be in the bottom three out of all Launchpads, projects in there, they went up massively because it was a meme coin, so there's a lot of hype around it, and then it just dies down, and it's sitting at almost zero, and the tokens that you're able to claim, they're worth barely nothing. I still have tokens to claim from MemePad, from IDOs that I participated in, and it is like $1, $2, $2.50 that I can claim back. It's not even worth the trouble. I don't even look at it anymore. I just take it as a loss and I just leave it, right? So that's kind of what we want to know. The next vesting that we would take out from Good Games Guild, there's still a whole lot of profit there, right? We can look at the Good Games Guild IDO price. Then we will probably see something, I would say 20, 30 cents or something. It was pretty low. Good Games Guild IDO price, okay, 30 cents. So here, 30 cents right now, even though the whole market is going down, even though there's a lot of trouble going on, you're still sitting at a 12x. Project has been ages ago. Your previous vestings that you were able to take out were higher, so you take out awesome amounts of profit, and still right now the whole market is down. You're sitting at a 12x, which is very stable, very healthy, very profitable for us, right? So that's what we look at with Seedify, and then obviously we want to know the upcoming projects. So the upcoming pools, Animalia, awesome project. I invested in it in the private round through AnyPad. I got like it wasn't that much at the time because I was just in AnyPad. I didn't have the NFTs yet, but I think I got like a $300 allocation. I was in one of the first seed rounds. So there's definitely going to be massive profit for me there. We already know beforehand. Why? Is because I get a cheaper price in a private sale than even the IDO price, or even the IDO price. Completed ones. MetaStrike has just been, right? World of DeFi. I didn't participate in those, but the parallel did awesome, right? There was a lot of good results in the parallel. Mousehund did alright. Eartha, I'm not too sure what the results are of Eartha right now, but that project itself is absolutely amazing. So Eartha, I already looked it up once. IDO price. Here we can see somewhere the IDO price. Who tells me where they see the price? All right, here we go. 1.8 cents, right? IDO price of Eartha was 1.8 cents. Right now sitting at 16 cents. So that's like a 9x on Eartha, which is a pretty new recent project. So awesome results there as well. Sidus, everybody's very excited about it. Sidus, that one did awesome. You can of course scroll back a lot more. Another Sidus, Spike Era still has the launch. They did do the whole sale, but they've postponed the actual launch, so we don't really know the results there yet. But if we look at overall, I think these two are the only two that didn't do too well. This is like an example of where you can only claim a couple of dollars back. That didn't do very well. SpinTop, I have hundreds and hundreds of dollars of profit on, even though it was with a very small allocation. Upcoming, you can see they slow down a little bit. In my last video, I talked about them doing a launch almost every day. They did slow down a little bit, as you can see here, 3 days and 5 days. And these two are still to be announced, so we don't know the date of these yet. So slow down a little bit, which is fine, which is not a problem. Overall, very awesome Launchpad. But lastly, what we want to know is, of course, the staking. We get a passive income from just holding the token. What I always do to quickly show you is an APY calculator, so you kind of know how much interest you actually get from it. Very simple. You stake it for a certain period and you get interest back. 7 days, 5%, 14 days, you get 11%, 30 days, you get 25%, 60 days, you get 55%. For me, I feel like 2 months, 60 days is a little bit too long. I don't want to hold my token somewhere for that long, or at least be forced to hold it. But that being said, I staked it for 30 days, got a 25% APY, and as soon as they unlocked, I staked it again for 30 days. So I might as well have done it for 60 days. 30 days you get 25%, and 60 days you get 55%. So APY calculator is very easy. You put in your APY, let's say we stake it for 60 days, which is 55% APY, and we stake it for months. And then we have 2 months that we stake it, and let's say we go for Tier 2, which is 1,000 tokens right now, that is roughly $8,000. We get $600 after 2 months in passive income. $300 a month that you simply earn as a passive income by holding the tokens, which is awesome overall. So first off, Seedify, very, very bullish, very, very positive. They have a lot of things come up. They also have a lot of announcements about the projects that they're doing aside from the Launchpads. So we want to keep an eye out on all of that. Next up, we're going to go look at SolRazr. With AnyPad, we don't have to cover that much because we know everything already, and it is very simple. AnyPad is very simple and self-explanatory, but SolRazr is absolutely awesome. I would recommend everybody that is sitting with a little bit of a smaller budget looking into IDOs and Launchpads to watch the separate video of SolRazr where I explain everything in a lot of detail, exactly about everything you need to know on SolRazr, because this is right now my absolute favorite out of all Launchpads for people that have smaller allocations. Or smaller budgets, sorry. So they give a very, very good amount of allocation. Here we can see allocation model. So that's a tiered system with 5 different systems. The only one downside of this is that it's a lottery pool. So it means that's no guaranteed allocation, but you get tickets. So you stake it for a certain period and then you get more tickets the longer you stake it for. But since there's not that many people participating in this yet, you have a pretty high chance of getting into it. You can also stack up the amount of lottery tickets so you can harvest them more and more and more by just not participating for a little while, and then you just participate in the IDOs that you want to. Now you have a lot of tickets there, so you're almost guaranteed a spot because you put in a lot more lottery tickets than other people, right? But for a project that is so cheap to get into, it's fine that it's lottery in my opinion, right? I would definitely get into Zeppelin or Tree in one of these two, or in Seed if budget is even smaller, and I would happily be sitting here with a lottery system. Why? I will explain to you. The price of SolRazr right now, $1.32, and if you want to participate here, you only need these amount of tokens staked. We look at the SolRazr price. What happened over the last couple of days, it went down even more. So it was sitting above, it was sitting at around the $2, just above the $2, $2 to $2.40 mark, and still at that time it was cheap. Why was that? Let's just use the Seedify one because I don't have a separate SolRazr, but it is very, very. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. $1.32, right? That's the price of SolRazr right now. We need 500 tokens, 2,500 tokens for the smaller tiers, and then it was 12,500 and 50,000, 12,500 and 50,000 tokens. What is that as a total price? Then we look at it like this. Easy. $660. When I was doing the video, I think it was $750, so the price was at $150. $660 to get in the lower tier. When I say lower, by the way, I didn't calculate this one in. Why not? Is because they open up the IDO rounds for these 4 first, and then whatever is left over, there's, let's say, a certain amount left over. 25% of that leftover bit will go to the soil part, and the rest will go as a first come first serve system back into these 4, right? So let's not look at this one, even though it is very, very cheap to get in here. It's still lottery based, and is still, I believe at least it is still lottery based. I'm not 100% sure of that. I didn't look into this one that much, but there's a very, very, very small amount of allocation available. And in my opinion, for just $660, why not get into this one? You get a lot more back from it. All right, so $660, which is barely anything, right? Then the second one we know is sitting at $3,300. So compare that to a tier 2 on Seedify for $8,000, where you get like a $13, $14 allocation. This is only $3,300 to get into, and the allocation you get is massive. Plus, one thing I will already tell you, one thing that I really, really like about this project is that a lot of these IDOs that they launch, they have 100% vesting, so 100% at TGE, meaning you get all your tokens straight away. You have a project that does a 10x, you put in a certain amount of money, you get all the profits out of it straight away that you can use for the next thing that you want to put your money in, right? Which is awesome. Why is that so awesome? Well, very, 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 very simple. That is awesome because of this. Let's go to the Launchpad for a second. How did I find that again? Launchpad. Well, it's probably just here. Very simple. This one is coming up, so launching on the 20th, which is in 9 days from now. Whitelist start on the 18th. You have Humble, right? So Humble is a new upcoming project. This Launchpad is very, 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 very detailed. Everything you need to know is on here. IDO token price is $1. The initial market cap is sitting here, which is pretty high amount. IDO pool size is $2 million. Initial market cap is lower than the IDO pool size. That doesn't make sense, but cool. Minimum allocation amount in either pool is 100. So you get a minimum allocation of 100. Minimum. What does that mean? If, let's see, is that TGE explained here as well? Sometimes they do here. IDO vesting terms, 33%. Everything is explained on this website. It's absolutely amazing. But IDO vesting terms, 33% unlocked on TGE. All right. So 33%, right, is unlocked straight away at the start. We get, let's say, $100 allocation, and we do like a 5x. So we earn $500 straight away. That we no, wait, hold up, 500 is what we earn total. We get 33% of it, so like 1/3, you get like $170 that you earn straight away, that you get back into your pockets to use at that moment straight away. You've only put in $660, right, and you earned yourself $170 straight away at the first IDO that you participated in. Plus, there's another 66.7% of the vesting that's gonna come to you later on. Whether the price is up or down doesn't even really matter that much anymore. We've already got $170 back in, right? So we're already in profit there, which makes total sense. And if we quickly look at everything here about the project, everything explained about the project coming up, the tokenomics of the project, which we're always very, very interested in on the tokenomics, because that's a very good indicator on the potential of the project. The team, we want to know who's behind the team, who are the advisors and the seed investors, very important as well, and then the roadmap. So everything you need to know, you look at it in one overview, which is very, very professional and very easy for us to use, right? But then we look at these projects that have been already and the results of them. Some of them, let's take this one. I believe it was this one, which only one example is needed. The IDO token price was 4 cents, pool size $400,000. Here you see the different allocations. So seed allocation per ticket is $150. So you get like a ticket system, a lottery ticket system. Seed, $660 invested, and you get $150 allocation. That's insane. That's nowhere the same. So AnyPad, for example, has a very high allocation, but you're also putting in a little bit more money when it comes down to that, right? Compared, so that might be a little bit on the even side when it comes down to allocation compared to the investment amount. But then you look at here at this 100% unlocked at TGE, and then we look at the results. Synchrony did 4 cents on allocation, and then we look at the price. Synchrony, here we go, 4 cents on the launch. Right now sitting at only 5 cents, so that's just a little bit above 25% gain. But we want to know where it came from, because we don't have any tokens anymore, because we were able to unleash them straight away at the start. And at the start would have been somewhere sitting around here, so that would have been sitting at around 8 cents roughly. So that's 100% gain, right? A 2x, 100% gain on our investment. We were able to invest, where is it here? We were able to invest $150, so we got $300 back. On our first, let's say that was our first idea that we ever participated in, we invest $660, and now bang, we got $300 back already on day one that we can use for all the things coming up later on. You can see with only 1 or 2 launches, depending on how good the results were, we earned the whole initial investment back, and we're kind of sitting in SolRazr for free, and we can participate in all the upcoming IDOs with 0 risk, because we've already earned our initial investment back. So even though SolRazr will go back down to 0 cents, the whole project collapses, which is obviously not going to happen, but let's say it would, then we're still safe. Doesn't matter, our investment is back already, which is perfect, because we want to minimize risks, of course. So that's for SolRazr, which makes sense. You want to get more details on how to participate, what the pool system, what the lottery system involves, go check out the separate video. There's a lot of information in there. And then lastly, we have AnyPad. Very simple, highest amount of allocation out of all Launchpads available, and a lot of things that they have announced that they have coming up. They have the Star Strike game. They have their NFT marketplace. We clicked on, let's see, we clicked on We clicked on application, we have to click on Launchpad. My bad, I do the same mistake every single day. But they have a couple of different things. So you're able to buy NFTs, right? You can use these NFTs for higher allocation. There was one mint pass for the Sidus project, which was only for Sidus itself. I thought it was a little bit of a weird setup because you were able to get like $100 allocation extra, but the price of the NFT was $200, I think, or it was 100 as well. And the vesting of that was like very, very long. You have to wait months and months and months for that vesting to come back. So that one didn't make sense. But you are able to buy two NFTs that give you a higher allocation within the project itself. So when you have these two IDOs, you suddenly go from a $300 to $400 allocation if you're in the highest tier already to like 800 to 1400, which is definitely worth it. Last time I checked my NFTs, here we go. So last time I checked, these are the two NFTs. Last time I checked, it was 2 BNB and 5 BNB. The price to get one. BNB obviously dropped down in price a little bit, so only get these if you're just interested in getting a very high allocation. MacBook is failing on us here a little bit. Only 2 more weeks to go and we got ourselves a new MacBook. We got ourselves like a new MacBook Pro M1 Max with everything on it, the best top of the top. I thought I'd get the most expensive one because why not? So in the next 2 weeks you're gonna see me make videos that are just the quickest videos ever. Nowhere, we don't have to wait anywhere for loading. But all right, cool. Let's see listings right now here. So one is listed for one BNB. So you can get one for 1 BNB of the Weld NFTs, for example. They just simply give you higher allocation on the Launchpad. Then you have Star Strike, the game, which is a pretty awesome concept. Why? Is because you can stake your AnyPad tokens to get a free NFT, right? We look at the AnyPad price right now, then we see it is sitting very low. It's only at 4 cents. Why is it at 4 cents? Because like I said, a lot of the previous IDOs didn't perform too well. So it came from a peak of 8 cents. I got in very cheap, but it's back down a lot. So it's probably sitting at right around where I bought in. So I'm not in profit, I'm not in loss. I'm probably roughly break even on the token itself, but I have earned awesome amounts of money from the Launchpads, from the IDOs. One of the last ones was Age of Gods, and that one did very well. I made a lot of money on that one because I had such a high allocation. So you can see the peak here. They started performing a little bit worse, and it just kept dropping down, and especially because the market went back down as well. That didn't really help. But for us, again, as investors, perfect entry point. So then we look at the Launchpad. Here we see the new ones coming up. Mint Layer is a good project. It's an awesome project, but the vesting was awful. Why? Is because the vesting was like a couple of months cliff where you don't get any tokens, and then it was spread out over, I think it was 36 months, like literally 3 years. So I did not participate in that one. Amara Finance, awesome project as well. I was too late to invest, but I would have wanted to invest in it. And the next one coming up is Ducky Land. That's the newest one. Whitelist is open now. You can put your money in if you want to. Then you have Age of Gods. That one was recently done. I got only an allocation here from 400 BUSD. Why? Is because you have to fill out the whitelist form and say what you own, what tier system you're in. And I said that I had 100,000 tokens, which is the highest tier, but you also have to think that you have the NFTs, and I didn't. So I didn't get my NFT allocation, which is a shame, because I would have probably had like, I don't know, $900, maybe $1,100 allocation, and with the results that that project did, that would have been awesome. But oh well. Here we can see the tier system. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many tokens do you need to stake so that or hold? 10k, 25k, 50k, 75k, 100k. Awesome with this is you don't have to actually stake them. You only just hold the tokens, so you can get in and out whenever you want to. So it's good actually to trade AnyPad as well, because it goes up like 10 to 20% pretty frequently. You can make awesome trades on it if you pay attention closely. Here you can see what you can do is you can stake. I believe I have staked one of them. How do I see that? Can we see that actually? I don't know if we can see that. I have staked one of them, not enough in balance because I obviously don't have anything left because I already staked everything. How can we see that? Oh, here we go. Unstake. So unstake 100,000 tokens. I will receive mine because I just went for the highest one with the 100,000 tokens that I have, like the 4-star rating aircraft. I will get mine in 2 weeks, just a little over 2 weeks, and it should be one of the top NFTs available in this project, right? The cool thing is with Star Trek, it's going to be a whole full separate crypto game, play to earn game that's already getting quite some good attention and quite some good exposure. People are having a lot of positive announcements about it, so that's a good thing because we already know that this is going to help the AnyPad token price go up as well, right? We want to quickly look at the Age of Gods results, which kind of gives us an idea of the last performed IDO and what type of results we were able to get there. We look at Age of Gods IDO price, because this one isn't as detailed as SolRazr, so we have to look for it manually. We can probably find it. Token price was 12 cents. Is that correct? That will probably be correct. And then we look at, where is it? Age of Gods. Oh, here we go. 12 cents. It is sitting at 83 cents, but it has just recently launched. So the price is going up and up and up. This is very, very, very healthy. At the launch itself, you had like a 4 to 5x. You were able to get your tokens out, sell your tokens, claim it, and then take your profit, of course. But after that, the price is only going up because apparently people are really loving this project. It is sitting at a 7.7 million market cap, so there's a lot of potential extra growth here. It isn't fully confirmed yet, verified with CoinMarketCap, so we don't 100% sure know whether this is correct, yes or no, but it'll probably be roughly in this range, meaning that short-term potential here is definitely $1.50 up to $2 if it's continued to keep having this upward trend, right? There were a couple of projects that didn't do too well with AnyPad, but Age of Gods definitely made up for all of that, and the ones that are coming up are pretty positive. So for example, Duckyland is getting a lot of good exposure also through Bluezilla, which we already know all things going through Bluezilla are doing really, really well. They have public rounds and private pools. Private pools you get an even cheaper rate than public pools, but the cool thing with this is just the price that we pay. For example, Animalia was one of the first ones, which was a private one that is also launching, and Seedify coming up. So Seedify is launching Animalia shortly, and here you can see Animalia private pool. I was able to put in money, 200 BUSD only because I was brand new. I didn't have that much allocation back then yet, but I don't know if there's a date here. This was ages ago. This probably is like 2 months ago, if not 2.5 to 3 months ago, that I've put my money in, and we still have to wait, and now it's finally coming close, but the price that we paid for this was very, very low. So now we know AnyPad, high allocation, fairly cheap to get into, because with 100,000 tokens, right, highest allocation, 100,000 tokens, and the price is sitting at 4 cents, right, so 0.04, we'll round it up upwards. You'll probably be able to do the math out of the top of your head, but here's proof, $4,000. So you get in for $4,000, which is roughly the same as here in the second tier, and you're able to get a $200 to $400 allocation. You then buy the NFTs for a couple of $100, and then you're able to get even bigger allocations, which is insane. All you then gotta hope for is, of course, that the projects are gonna be similar to Age of God projects and have similar results like that. So that's all, guys. Thanks for watching my top 3 Launchpads. Please let me know in the comments below what you think, if you have other Launchpads you prefer over these. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.